Yo, what's really good, guys? I gotta ask you, does it ever annoy you when games recycle the same concepts over and over again, the same generic ideas that don't really feel like they're trying to evolve or innovate upon itself? Because I know it annoys me. Does it annoy you? It annoys her. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with reusing assets in itself, as there are ways you can preserve traditional elements of a franchise without making them seem generic, like Kirby for example. The core premise remains the same, but little things like the world design, ingenious copy abilities, new bosses, exclusive gimmicks like Robobot armor and Hypernova make each adventure feel distinctively enjoyable and memorable. In the case of the new Super Mario Bros series, we might get a new added power-up, but aside from that, these titles come off as extremely generic and uninspired in my opinion. Grass, desert, ice, beach, canyon, sky, lava, they're perfectly fun games, except you, but for some reason they refuse to innovate or present interesting ideas within its level structure or world design. If you've played one of them, you've played them all, and there are only so many times I can dive into a new game before I completely give up on this franchise. I needed something that actually innovated and explored the heights to which a 2D Mario platformer could climb, developers who truly took their imagination and ambition crafting an amazing game. Newer Super Mario Bros Wii is everything I could have asked for in a 2D Mario, a truly beautiful compilation of fantastic challenges strung together by a series of well thought out worlds and level mechanics. The title screen alone is a breath of fresh air, and upon pressing start, I experienced a euphoric feeling comparable to that car ride home reading the box of Pokemon X back in 2013. This fan-made title that encompassed 3 years of development is easily the best new Super Mario Bros game I've had the luxury of sinking time into, and today we're going to get into why. A minor thing that has always bothered me about the new Super Mario Bros games beyond them feeling bland is the idea that the levels don't feel thematically linked, rather they're disconnected and don't follow a progressive theme beyond being grassy or sandy for example. Newer Super Mario Bros Wii abandons tradition, bringing forth cohesively designed worlds that invoke a sense of advancement as you explore. Our adventure begins on Yoshi's Island, a beach where healthy palm trees and malicious crabs can be seen out in the wider outskirts of the peninsula, soon transitioning into a deeper forest surrounded by botany of all variants alongside swamps and even a nectar-filled vertical tower. Soon after emerging, we cross over the bridge of a canyon overrun by fuzzies and into the other conjoined half of Yoshi's Island, which is characterized by groves, ponds, and ruins consumed by organic life. To get to World 2, Mario channels his inner Michael Phelps and swims over to an arid desert, and to get to the upper levels where there are dunes and pyramids, he has to trek through soggy sewers. Even area themes that you would assume are overdone are fleshed out through fantastic design choices. We've got an ice world which is pretty standard, but then now we're scaling the exterior of a gigantic castle, and soon enough delving into a volcano defined by an equal balance of fire and ice, obviously inspired by Super Mario Galaxy. Or how about an elegantly crafted village of blossoming trees, minka houses of tatami flooring, samurai statues, and sotobashi bridges? Yeah, I know a thing or two about traditional Japanese lore. It's not like 95% of my life is spent consuming their media. They also made My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen. I owe them my life. World 3 Sakura Village is easily the best one in the game for me, and it was the defining factor that led to this review being made. Falling pink leaves in the background coupled with woodwind instrumentals created an atmosphere that oddly enough made me feel at ease as I hopped from structure to structure. Japanese architecture in general has always been fascinating to me. It's simply stunning, and I genuinely adore it so much. The entire world design is amazing. The adventure in its entirety captures an organic sense of progression where each level highlights a specific section of the island or village that you're in, instead of random ideas being thrown together which culminates into a forgettable experience. Despite each stage being separated, they all feel cohesively linked, and I know this is something that isn't new to video games, but this is a mod of New Super Mario Bros. Can you blame me for feeling excited about the actual novelty in its foundation? I have fun walking throughout the overworld, which is a journey in itself, especially when you've completed all the levels in the main path and can finally gauge just how far you've come. We owe it to the developers for seeing their vision for this daring campaign all the way through. They had a solid understanding of what goes into a creatively brilliant map housing layers of verticality and diverging pathways, which communicates so much about the depth of the journey without any dialogue whatsoever. And as much as I've been gushing about the world layout of newer Super Mario Bros, does the gameplay follow suit? Did it inject new mechanics and gimmicks that kept the platforming fresh and enjoyable? Can we really hold it up to other contemporary platformers and say with our entire chest that this is a good game?
Yes!
Damn, can you let me finish my sentence?
No!
Aren't we the same person? The levels here are an amalgamation of the sweetest gimmicks you'll ever see in a 2D Mario platformer. Not only are they phenomenally crafted in terms of being of adequate length, packed full of secrets, and bringing forth intriguing mechanics that appear at a rate similar to mosquitoes during the hotter months, but they also explore each power-up's ability to their fullest. The helicopter mushroom was always my favorite, and I was ecstatic to see it have tangible applications like World 7's Beanstalk Ascent, where you're constantly climbing a part of a mountain range. Normally you'd have to walk across the fringes of the screen to press switches located on opposing sides, but if you have the helicopter mushroom, you can simply soar without the need for the Beanstalk's assistance. I like that these levels are designed in a way that grants you rewards via faster routes for not taking damage and keeping the power up, but on the other hand, completing these sections are perfectly doable without them, except more dangerous given the interactivity with enemies. Out of over 100 plus substantial stages to dig into, I wanted to highlight a few of them that stuck out to me, at least conceptually. World 4-7's Thunder Bridge, where, similar to the angry sun in Mario 3, a thundercloud follows you around across the top of the screen, aiming to periodically strike you or even enemies. You can take advantage of him killing piranha plants by securing routes to star coins, for example. Crystal Tower in World 5, where the camera gradually pans upwards, complementing your climbing of a vertically lofty fortress as skewers and dry bones lie in wait. Snowfield Tundra and Frosty Highlands are characterized by a serene atmosphere surrounding the player as they slide across the ice alongside enemies wearing some charming Christmas attire. I love that they did this. It's something they really didn't have to do, but Santa Hat Goombas, coated Koopa Troopas, and Beanie Spikes are all wonderful spins on traditional enemies that only add to the lighthearted snowy environment. They're absolutely adorable. Too bad I gotta kill them though. Glowlit Manor has you trek through a series of interconnected rooms, each boasting their own trials. The goal is to press a switch at the ends of all 3 challenges, which paves the way to the exit. This level takes the notion of illuminating blocks and utilizes it to create some tricky platforming, all in good fun. Holy shit! Beanstalk Ascent transitions into Space Dust Heap? Space Dust Heap is Super Mario Galaxy. There are top man enemies in Electron Tower. World 7 plays off gravitational forces in a way that is pure bliss. Now I can't decide if I like this or Sakura Village better. Battalion Frontier encapsulated this militant kind of tension, serving as a perfect introduction into the last world, and this level as well as Volcano Rapids encourages use of the spin jump to ward away poisonous clouds, a pretty okay mechanic. Dragon Ride Fire Sea is a roller coaster tasking you with jumping through red rings both to avoid burning alive and opening up the door to the last star coin, which I still haven't gotten yet because I suck. Stages in newer Super Mario Bros Wii are nothing short of remarkable. I mean, coming off World 1 I thought, oh, this game is just a mod that twists around the assets of an existing game, it's already great, but I'm expecting more. Let me tell you, this fan game presents you with a buffet of meals you've eaten before, but provides foreign foods on the side that you never knew you needed to try before. There are numerous clever variations of little switch puzzles and existing power-ups that make you question, how hasn't this already been a thing in the main series? Furthermore, music houses dwelling on the overworld map are cute minigames that gift you up to 4 extra power-ups for recreating the tunes that they assign you on the note blocks. If only my short-term memory wasn't complete garbage. Shops are here as well, spending your star coins to purchase power-ups, including Mario 3's Hammer Suit as a new addition. How awesome is that? The nostalgia is surging through me with this one. I adore this. It's even capable of killing boos, a feat previously impossible if you lacked a Starman, as well as chain chomps. The fact that the developers went so far as to program new gameplay elements to add several flavors to the level design, on top of throwing in an extra power-up, is a testament to the level of passion that went into crafting this fan game, and we owe it to the developers for their hard work. Despite newer Super Mario Bros Wii's grandeur in various areas, I have to say that as far as the bosses are concerned, it's kind of a mixed bag. On one hand, the dual orb fight, which served as Crystal Tower's conclusion, was an interesting bout that took me by surprise. This time you use Yoshi to dodge a constant swarm of projectiles, swallow them, and spit them out at the opposing element. I found it to be a genuinely neat idea in addition to the sweet Kamek and Bowser fights in the late game that were innovative in their execution. However, a vast majority of bosses are lacking in terms of attack patterns and their countermeasures. I can best compare most of them to Super Mario World Yoshi's Island, where there are simply enlarged iterations of regular enemies that you throw items at until they die. Giant Fuzzy goes down in 3 hits, and for Giant Boo you keep throwing illuminated blocks until you reach a switch at the end of the corridor. You know, mechanically speaking, they don't present anything stimulating. They're kind of stark contrast to the excellent level design that builds up to these encounters. Some of these bosses are fought twice, and I'm aware that the layouts of these bosses change every time, but I don't think any variation in the setting is going to make for an invigorating thwomp fight. For every boss I went in, I thought to myself, wow, it's so cool how they were able to design this original fight. Swordsman Shy Guy? Giant Monty Mole? Dope! And when I play it, their attack patterns aren't varied enough or encourage any real adaptation, then they go down in 5 seconds and I come out disappointed. I do appreciate them all conceptually because they're extensions of ambitious ideas and time devoted to creating this mod, but I do find that these fell flat when it comes to the actual gameplay interactions. My next 2 problems are more of personal nitpicks. I don't resonate with autoscrollers in video games in a way that I'd want, since they clash against a lot of what I love about platformers, liberated movement. In 2D Mario autoscrollers, you're punished with an insta-kill for lagging behind. Go too fast and you can't account for enemy hazards in front of you because the screen failed to catch up. The only solution is to progress inch by inch, and to me that's no fun, especially considering you can't really improve your times or anything like that, because when you die, the game dictates the pace of the level for you. Newer Super Mario Bros Wii does this a few times, as seen in Thunder Bridge and Volcano Rapids for example. I know I praised them before and I still like them because they dance around appreciated ideas, but my lack of patience with these design choices in practice demand they move a bit faster. I mean, you can see in the game footage, I like to skip every star coin and play reckless, speedrunning these stages like it's bedtime and I'm rushing to a save point before my dad flings the door open and yanks the power cord to my Wii. This happened. Personally, I'd rather play swift, reactionary-based autoscrollers where I'm being engaged over a sluggish one where I can upload a full video to Instagram in the time it takes the camera to pan over to the remainder of the stage. All in all, newer Super Mario Bros. Is a product that demonstrates the extent at which fans will go to provide their community a worthwhile experience. It features beautifully thought out worlds that do a great job expanding upon the themes associated with each, like the divided segments of Yoshi's Island that has you explore every nook and cranny, or Sakura Village's poise in its attention to customary Japanese architecture and cherry blossom trees spread about the territory. Individual levels are nicely crafted, whether they're consistently introducing fun mechanics or expanding upon the uses of a multitude of power-ups in compelling ways, including the newly returning hammer suit, all while dispensing a smooth difficulty curve where the skill ceiling gradually rises with each world, but never to a degree where it felt unfair to me at any point in time. A lovely soundtrack composed of soothing original songs, dynamic overworld themes that swap instruments depending on the world you're in, a striking organ that adds a regal intensity to castle stages, and even remixes of notable Mario themes, both mainline and spin-offs included, sits well upon my ears. The bosses, however, left much to be desired as they came off as one-dimensional, but when the rest of the game is as impressive as it is, I can brush them aside. When I play the mainline titles, there might be a faint attempt at a new level gimmick every now and then, but they're never enough to amaze me or make them memorable, and if anything, they're just okay at best. On the contrary though, this unofficial title goes above and beyond. Newer Super Mario Bros Wii grabs the basics of what we know about the new Super Mario Bros series and sprays an imaginative fragrance around that, giving us a fulfilling adventure that provides enjoyable gameplay, vibrant worlds, and charming music. It is without a doubt securing a spot in my favorite games of all time. It is astoundingly good, and I need you to try it if you have the resources to do so, regardless of whether it's modding the Wii, the WiiU, or using Dolphin Emulator. Generally speaking, the Wii is where we saw insane amounts of creativity. We've got Project M, which infused Brawl with melee mechanics, CTGP Revolution, which gave Mario Kart Wii 100 plus extra tracks, and of course, newer Super Mario Bros Wii, which tucks me into bed at night. Since there aren't crazy time restraints, deadlines, marketing, and game assets that have to be built from the ground up, there isn't really much to worry about. There isn't as much pressure levied upon them, and it's because of this that they can revamp existing titles to fit a suitable audience, They're not appealing to a specific demographic that's reliant on money. They do this for free and they're passionate about it. I still don't think it's an excuse for a lot of the generic design choices we see when it comes to using the same music and world themes over and over again. I mean, I'm sure that you can make New Super Mario Bros. U fully unique, and my grandma, little sister, my goddamn dog would still enjoy it. However, now, you know, deeper Mario fans like myself would still feel that there's a semblance of novelty there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you do it with Mario Kart. Every subsequent Mario entry has its own unique identity. Why can't the new Super Mario Bros. Titles? Regardless though, New Super Mario Bros. Is a must play, and I love it with all of my heart. It's so very special to me. And if there were any other mods that were similar to it by the same development team, I would play it in a heartbeat.